Hi, I'm Mike. What we're going to do is we're going to go through the 2019 Leprechaun Model 220QB. This is our smallest, most affordable rental, and it is our little 24-foot Class C motorhome with a living room slide that sleeps up to 6 people. So follow me over here and we'll get started. All right. The first thing we have outside here, of course, is a non-storage compartment. This is your outside entertainment center. You have a television, which I have a remote inside. I'll show you where we keep those in a moment. Also, you have a stereo that is also a DVD and CD player. If you push this little button right up at the top left-hand corner, it opens the face, and now you'll see inside the slot disc or the slot for the disc to be able to insert. Right below that is a little black button. That's the eject button to get your disc out. Also, too, on the stereo, if you open this little window, you have the hookups for auxiliary cords coming off your phone. Plus, it has an HDMI hookup. And just a little tip, if you push the mode button here, this will actually pull the sound from the TV through the speakers if you're at a loud event like a concert or a football game and you need more volume, okay? And also, too, the mute button is the on-off. So to turn it off and on, we push the mute to make it go away. Other than that, that's pretty much it for the outside entertainment center. Directly down below is the LP compartment. That's the one that has the danger sticker on it. The only reason I'm showing this to you is because it does have a shutoff valve right here. And other than that, you'll always get the RV with a full tank of LP, and that's just where it's located, just so you know. All right, we're going to slide back here to the outside outlet. This is a 110 outlet. Just like inside the RV, all of these outlets will only function while you're plugged in at a campground or if you have the generator running, okay? Now, we're going to slide back here to the main storage compartment. And as you can see, it's huge. Basically, you got a tiny home. We recommend that you keep most of your belongings back here so you don't clutter yourself inside with your belongings. Inside also, too, you'll notice a spare tire. There is no jack. They stopped putting jacks in RVs about 15 years ago. They don't want you changing the tire on the highway. Call Ford with the roadside assistance number that we give you if you were to occur a flat, and they come change the tire for you, okay? What we're going to talk about now is the manual awning, okay? Inside the compartment here, we will take out what's called our awning rod. And basically, I'll just hold this in hand for the time being. Now, when you go to lower the awning, what you have is you have a front arm and a rear arm. What we want to do is we want to start at one of the two arms. Either one doesn't matter. But you grab it and squeeze so you can unlock the travel lock. Right down below on the back side is a little tension knob. We just want to loosen that, okay? Now we'll do the same thing to the front arm. So we're going to walk to the front and we're going to squeeze to unlock the travel lock. And from there we again loosen the tension knob. Now that I have my awning rod in hand, basically we're going to reach up here to the lock mechanism and we're going to pull it down to the roll down position. Okay? And from that point, we're going to walk straight over here with our awning rod, grab the awning strap, and pull the awning all the way out. And of course, at this point, I can put the awning rod back in the compartment. I'm just going to set it here for now so we can roll it back up. At this point, we have the awning out. Now we want to lift the awning. So, what I'll do is I'll come over here to my front awning arm. We want to take the inner arm and raise it all the way to the top until it locks in. Snug your tension knob. Don't over tighten, just snug it, okay? From there, we're ready to lift. So I'm going to take my left hand, grab underneath. I'm going to unlock the lift lock, and I'm going to lift. At that point, I close the lift lock, and then I'm going to rock it back and forth to make sure the lift lock pin seats into one of these holes. okay? I'll do the same exact thing on the back arm. So I'm going to walk back there. Now, of course, we want to do the same exact thing we did at the front arm. We want to pull the inner arm up until it locks in and snug the tension knob. Now we're ready to lift the rear arm, so I'll grab underneath, open the lift handle, and raise, lock lift handle, and again, rock it back and forth to make sure that the pin seats into one of the holes. Now, if you'll notice, and it's probably hard to see on the camera, but I have the awning in a slight tilt. That way, any type of moisture that comes from the roof air conditioner will drain away from the entry door. Your strap here, your awning strap, will slide in the tube. So I'll just pull it down here and kind of wrap it around this arm so it's out of my way. And that's how you open the main awning, okay? Now, when we go to raise it, everything will be in reverse, but it's all in the same steps, just in reverse, okay? So I'm going to take my awning strap, pull it out of there, pull it over the middle. I'm going to come over here, grab underneath, open my lift handle, and lower it down. From there, I want to loosen the tension knob, release the lock for the inner arm, and this will slide back down all the way till it comes to the stop bolt. Now, of course, we'll do the same for the front arm. So I'm going to walk back here. I'm going to grab underneath, open the lift handle, and lower it all the way down, okay? From there now, we want to, again, loosen our tension knob, release the lock, and slide the inner arm back to the stop bolt position, okay? Now we're ready to lift the awning. So now what I want to do is I want to make sure that I get my awning rod back in hand. So I threw it down here on the ground. So basically I'm going to take this awning rod and just hold it for the moment. I'm going to grab my awning strap and I'm going to pull it back to the front where that lock was at. So I got it coming on down. And now here's the key. This is spring loaded and it's very, very strong. You want to hold on to this strap really, really tight when you move your lock to the roll up position. So we just flip it over again. Now what I'll do is I'll take my free hand, hold the tube, and slide the strap back to the middle. Now once I get approximately to the middle, I just slowly let it go back into the up position. Now, we don't want to let it go and let it slam because that can damage the awning. And that's why I have my awning rod in hand, because of course I can't reach that high. So I'm going to slowly walk the awning back to the RV. All right, we're pretty much done with the awning rod now. So I'm just going to set it out of the way for the moment. And now we're going to lock our arms for travel. Again, we squeeze, lock the travel lock, snug the tension knob. Always do the same thing for the front one. We're going to squeeze the arms together, pull the travel lock down to the lock position, and snug the tension knob. This is probably the hardest thing on the RV to work, but as you can see, it's just a step-by-step process. It's not a hard thing. Plus, another thing that's great about it, it is on YouTube. If you can't find this tape or can't remember how to do it or can't read my book, you can definitely see it in YouTube. All right, guys, we're going to head to the back of the RV and I'm going to show you where the power cord is located. On this model, the power cord is on the rear wall, okay? So inside this door is where the rest of the power cord is at, and we're plugged into power just like you'll be at a campground. Of course, when we're done with the show, we're going to take this cord, unplug it, we're going to stuff it in this compartment and shut the door again. All right? And as you can see, it has a little flap opening there so you can close the door while you're camping. All right? All right, now that we're done with the power cord show, what we're going to do now is show you how to dump the holding tanks. course, once you're at a campground, most all of your campgrounds have dump stations at the individual site. And while you're at the campground, I recommend that you do hook up the sewer hose, but of course you'll leave the handles closed. You do want to keep the handles closed because you want those tanks to be able to fill and stay liquid, especially in the black tank. Black tank is your toilet water. Gray tank is your sink and shower water. Black is the one we'll always dump first, and then we close it. The gray after that to clean and flush the hose out. The sink, shower, soapy water is what cleans the sewer hose out. So when we're ready to hook up, what we're going to do is we're going to take the end cap off of the bumper. And as you can see, there's our sewer hose. I'm going to take this completely out of the bumper. And we are going to attach it right down here where this black sticker is at. Now, underneath, you'll notice there's a cap. We're going to twist this cap off and just let it dangle. And as you can see on your sewer hose, it has the two hooks with the two eyelets, and we just attach it the same way we took off the travel cap. Now, this end of the hose is what is going to go into the ground, okay? And of course, our sewer hose is already attached. In the compartment up here, where we keep your water hose and cable cord, is a little red cone. This cone attaches to the elbow on the end of the sewer hose. And so now when you put this into the ground, we have a closed seal system. Your dump sewer hole will be just like about that big, and this will fit right into that hole. Now, from there, when you are ready to empty the tanks, we will come back down here to the valves, and you'll notice we have a black valve and a gray valve. Always open the black valve first. No twist, no unlock, just a straight pull. Let it completely stop draining, close it off, then pull the gray. The gray again is the sink, soapy shower water, and that's what's going to clean and flush the hose out. Once it's done, close it off, you're done. If both tanks are all the way full, it'll take all of about 40 seconds to empty both tanks. It'll be very quick, okay? Other than that, when you're ready to leave, of course, we disconnect the sewer hose, put the travel cap on, take our cone out, and store it back into the rear bumper. All right? And of course, if you forget anything, it is in our book. Now, in that compartment again, we have a water hose and a coax cable cord for the cable TV. Most campgrounds do have cable. Now, both of those items will be hooked up back here as well. First, we'll talk about the water. As you can see, we have two water bibs. The first one here is city water connection. At the campground, you'll take our water hose, hook it up here, run it to their faucet, hook it up, turn the water on. This now will provide the RV with constant water pressure. It bypasses the onboard tank and provides constant water pressure. Now, this next water bib says potable water only. This one is only to refill the freshwater tank. The freshwater tank is 50 gallons. We give it to you full. We do not require you to return it to us full, but if you do need to refill it, you'll move your hose to that water bib, turn the water faucet on, and now it's refilling the tank. If that tank is bone dry, it'll take about 12 minutes to refill. Once it is full, it'll start overflowing underneath the rear end of the RV, and that tells you it's done. A little tip, if you are filling the freshwater tank, don't go away for a couple hours. You may find you have a flooded coach. You do want to stick around until the tank is full to make sure you turn the water off, okay? Also, too, right next to the water bibs, there is our cable TV in. This is the Coax Hookup that you will hook our coax to, run it to their Coax Hookup, program the TVs for cable in that area. All right? And our gas fill is right here. It's unleaded only, no high test or anything like that. And of course, being Fords, you always want to make sure the cap is clicked back on when you put the cap back on, and that means it's tight. Other than that, we are done with hookups. So we have our water, we have our power around the back, we have our sewer hose, and we have our cable TV connection. And that's it. 4 hookups. Again, about 10 minutes, you're done. All right? So we're going to walk on this way. Of course, this was the compartment that had the water hose and the coax cable. The next compartment is where our generator is located. Now, on the generator, basically your generator will operate 3 items while you're in transit, or if you're not hooked to a campground. Generator will run your microwave, your televisions, and your roof air conditioner. So if you're traveling down the road, or if you're at, say, a football game or a concert not hooked to power, you would run the generator to operate those 3 items. Now, on the generator is a circuit breaker. If you are on generator power and you overload the circuit, the breaker will trip out here. Not inside on the breaker panel. On generator power, it will trip out here. To access that breaker, we must open this door. So we're going to unlock it, lift the door, and now we need to take the front cover off. On the cover are 2 locks. Unlock and unlock, pull forward and lift to take it off. Now, this breaker is really hard to see. Hopefully you can see it on the camera. Basically, my finger is on it here. It is between the start switch and the oil fill cap. It is black. It's hard to see, but my finger is touching it now. When the breaker is backwards, it's tripped. We always want to pull it towards us to reset. If the breaker trips, the generator will continue to run, but you'll get no power in the RV. All right? To reset the breaker, you don't have to turn the generator off. All right? But to reset it, again, remember, always pull the little breaker switch here forward. I do have a diagram in our book, and of course, you can find it on YouTube as well. All right? Now, these are air-cooled engines, so we always want to make sure that the cover is on while running. So we're going to lock it back in and shut the compartment door. Now, breakers don't really trip very often, but can, again, if you overload the circuit. So what causes a breaker to trip on a generator? Let's say you start the generator, refrigerator goes to electric. Then you turn on the microwave, then you turn on a television, you got the air running, got a coffee pot going, got 8 phones charging at one time, you got too much going at once. You got to back off something, all right? And guys, I am done with the outside of the RV. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to head to the inside and show you the controls in there and where everything else is located. Other than that, follow me. All right, now we're back to the entry door side so we can get inside the RV. Now, on your door lock, even though it's configured differently, it works just like your home. It has a handle or doorknob lock and a deadbolt, okay? Inside, you have 2 red buttons. Top one here is your deadbolt, okay? The bottom one is your handle lock. As you can see, it has no doorknob, it has a flapper, okay? This is where we grab to close the door. Everybody wants to grab this. This is just a bug screen for the screen door, all right? So we won't grab that to close it, we'll grab it here to close, all right? Other than that, come on inside. All right, now on this model, right by the entry door is our main monitor control panel center, okay? You have 2 buttons here on the left. The first top one says water pump. Water pump on means we're going to draw the water from our onboard tank. When we're at a campground, we're not using the onboard tank, so we could turn it off at that time. I'm not hooked to water, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it on. Even though I'm plugged in, I'm going to use the water from the RV itself. Directly below that is water heater. Now, the water heater you will turn on once you get to the campground. The good thing is when you do turn it on, in 15 minutes, you'll have 140 degrees scalding hot water. When it reaches temperature, it shuts down on its own. It's thermostat controlled, so you do not have to keep playing with the water heater on and off. Once I get to the campground or to my campsite, I will turn it on, walk away, forget about it, okay? When I'm traveling, though, I do turn it off. The highway wind speeds tends to blow out the flame. It keeps trying to relight itself. It's just a waste. Water pump I'll keep on for travel. That way I have water pressure while I'm traveling. But at the campground, I'll turn it off. So, traveling, water pump on, water heater off. At the campground, hooked to water, I'll turn water pump off, water heater on. All right? Now, on this model, again, we have a living room slide. As you'll notice here, slide room in, out. To run the slide room out, we must have the engine off. Key must be off, engine must be off for the slide room to function. And then to get the slide room out, we hold the button. And away she goes. Now, once the room gets fully extended, it will stop by itself. And that is when I'll release the button. And voila. Done, and I release. Alright? And as you can see, when you open up the slide room, it makes a huge difference in room inside the RV. Alright? Now, to the right side of the monitor panel is the generator start. Alright? You have a start and stop, and then below that you have a prime. When the generator hasn't been running, we always want to prime the carburetor. So I'm going to push the prime. I let the blue light come on. I give it a few seconds to prime. I release and hold the start button. I hold it about 3 to 4 seconds. If it doesn't start the first time, I release and repeat. As you can see, it started the first time, so we're all running and good to go now. You do have an hour meter here to track your time. All right, so that is so you will be able to see exactly how much time that you use. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off, and I just touch the stop button to make it go down. Now, right through here, and it may be hard to see on film, but you have teeny tiny little black buttons. These are our tank reading level buttons. The first one says LPG. That's our liquid propane. We push the button, all the lights light up, meaning it's full. Empty, 1/3, 2/3 full. The next one is battery. Our battery power is the lower line. As you can see, battery, it says L for low, F for fair, G for good, C for charging. Now, when you're at a campground, the battery is never going to be an issue because you're plugged in, you're charging the battery. But let's say you're at a football game, or you're at a concert, or wherever. The battery operates everything in the RV. So when the battery level gets low, we do want to run the generator to recharge the house battery. Try to keep in mind, your house battery is the heart of this RV. Everything functions off it first, whether you're plugged in or not. Okay? When you're at a campground, battery's not too much to worry about. When you're dry camping, battery will discharge. It's not a problem. Generator recharges the battery. Okay? Next to that is fresh for fresh water tank. All the lights are lit up, meaning it's full. And both our black tank, our toilet water, and our gray tank, our sink and shower water, is empty. Of course, as they fill, those lights will come on. A little tip, your black water tank will last a long time, many days without having to dump. Your gray can be a different story because you use much more water for the gray than you do the black. Both your kitchen sink and your vanity sink plus showering all goes into the gray tank. So dumping the gray, you may have to dump it once a day, once every other day, twice a day. It depends on your usage, okay? And then the last tip on that is, let's say you forget to check your monitor panel. If the shower starts backing up, it's not clogged, it's just full. It's time to go pull the handle. All right? and that is our main monitor and control panel center. Directly below that is a battery disconnect. Basically, it'll be on when you receive the RV. Just leave it on the entire time. This is used for storage purposes only. And then next to it, of course, we have light switches. Interior light is interior. Patio is our outside patio light. Okay? And you do have right here a flip-up counter extension to give you a little more counter space for the kitchen top. And other than that, I'm going to come on inside. Now, right over here is our microwave. All right? Now, on the microwave, when we are plugged in or when we're running the generator, the microwave light illuminates. It comes on. Okay? Now, when we unplug or turn the generator off, that light will go out. It goes black. That means we now have no power to our microwave, we have no power to our roof air, and we have no power to our televisions. So, again, you must be plugged in or running the generator for those three items to function. Okay? Now, directly below the microwave, you have a light and an exhaust fan for cooking. Your stovetop is gas. To light the stovetop, we'll turn the knob to the light high position. Spark piezo, turn slowly, and pop away she goes. And of course, low and high, and we always turn it completely off when we're done. Okay? Now, next to the stove area is our refrigerator. The unit will be in the auto position. That means it works in both electric and LP automatically. When you plug in or run the generator, the refrigerator will work on electric. When we unplug or turn the generator off, it'll automatically go to LP. It never shuts down on you. So again, when you're traveling, you do not have to run the generator for the refrigerator to function. Okay? And then last but not least, when you go to open the door, everything has travel locks. You got to push and pull to open the door. And then when you close it, make sure it clicks. That way it's fully sealed and closed. Okay? Now, right below the refrigerator on the master bed pedestal is our main breaker panel. To open that, we push the top of the door opens, and there are our breakers. Just like your home, if a breaker is to trip, you do turn it off and then back on to reset it. Okay? I'll go ahead and close that door. Now, you can't see it from over there, but right around the corner on the bed pedestal as well is the carbon monoxide LP detector. Okay? That is there for your safety. Also, too, a little tip about that is it is very odor sensitive. If you spray aerosol cans like hairspray or Lysol, that will set it off. Heavy smoking odors, it picks up just about every odor there is known to man, but it is for carbon monoxide and LP. If the alarm goes off, it is very loud. Okay. Also, too, low batteries makes it go off. So if you're dry camping and this thing goes off, check your batteries. More than likely, you've got low battery power. Okay? Now, if I can get you on this model to come up here, I'm going to have you stand right here at the edge of the bed. Because, all right, we're going to talk about the roof air thermostat. This also operates the furnace as well. Now, the light is off, meaning that this thermostat is asleep. So the mode button is what wakes it up and changes the settings. So I'm going to touch mode. The light comes on. It's now awake. The arrows are what changes the temperature. Okay? Now, if you can see it on here, we have a snowflake that says cool. So that means we're running on AC. To turn it off or change the settings, we touch the mode. So I'm going to touch mode. It's going to go from cool to furnace. Furnace is our main heat. All right. I'm going to hit mode one more time, and it goes to heat pump. Heat pump is a heater inside the air conditioner. The furnace is your main hot heat. The heat pump for the air conditioner is a mild heat, okay? Now, to turn it off, it's just one more time of mode, and the screen goes blank. We're in the off position, all right? Now, here's the important part. When you do turn it on, after you wake it up, hit mode, it goes to fan mode. Right now, it says automatic, auto, just like your home. I recommend you run it on that. It does have an option to change to high or low fan speed. Here's the problem, especially in the winter. If you run it in high or low, the roof air fan stays on all the time. So once you drop this to furnace, what you'll have is the roof air fan on blowing cold air, and you'll have the furnace on the bottom blowing hot air. It's not really what we want. So we always want to make sure that we have our setting in auto and then proceed to either cool, furnace, or heat pump. All right? And that is the roof AC furnace thermostat. Next to the thermostat, of course, we do have some phone chargers back here for you, a 12-volt outlet, and, of course, a 110 outlet. Light switch here. You have some more map reading lights above the bed, and it does have a flip-up table. All right, and that's it for the master in this model. What we're going to do is we're going to head to the restroom, and I'm going to open the door, step inside, and we have a light switch on the wall. We do have an exhaust fan here. You'll crank open the lid, push the button for exhaust. All right. In the shower, on all RVs, we do have an on-off switch to conserve water and tank space. And this model comes with a shower curtain. We have our vanity sink, a GFI outlet. That is a breaker. Now, GFI, if say mama's in here blow drying her hair, or you've got a coffee pot going, maybe too many items going, that could trip. If it does, we just reset with the button, okay? Now on your toilet, they are gravity flushes. After you use the restroom, slightly push the foot pedal to add water to the bowl. Once you get enough in there, push all the way down to dump, okay? That's it for the restroom. I'm going to slide over this way. Of course, we've got our closet area here, and then right next to that is our dinette. Now, our dinette, as you can see, is our horseshoe, but this converts into our third bed. All right? To make it into a bed, what we want to do is we want to take the tabletop off of the legs. So I'm going to grab both sides of the table and lift, and I'm going to set the table out of the way for the moment. Now the legs come out of the floor. And you just kind of wiggle them to get them out. I'm going to set these out of the way just for the moment. Now we're going to take our tabletop, and this is what makes the platform. So on the wood slats right here, we're going to slide it into position. We're going to take this center cushion and put it right here. Now, up in the cab over loft, and I'm going to grab it real quick, is our filler pad. So I'm going to pull this out, and our filler pad goes right in here. Okay? I recommend flat sheets. We tuck them in, holds everything together. And of course, these remove to give you the other full bed, so you have another two sleeper. Okay? And of course, that pad removes as well. Everything is in reverse to put it back into position. Filler pad out. Centerpiece back to the backrest area. And table out. And of course our legs are going to go back into the holders. And our tabletop flops right back on into the two holders. And we're set to go. And then our third area is the cab over loft. This is a queen bed as well. This piece fits into the opening here. Alright, you have your black anti-rollout net that clicks in up here so nobody can fall out while they're sleeping. And that clicks in up there as well. Alright, you also have a privacy curtain right here that will attach to these Velcro tabs and hang straight down here so nobody can see in. Our ladder, which is in the storage position at the moment, just detaches from here and hooks right in here to get up and down. And the kids love the Loft. Alright? And of course, when we're traveling, we always put our ladder back in its spot and we snap it into place. Alright? And of course, we do have privacy curtains up here as well for the Loft. Alright? Now, I'm going to move this back out of the way. In the center console is where we do keep the television remotes. Alright, so all of our remotes are here. Now I'm going to pull this TV out. As you can see, it swings and it will travel in that position. Okay, so I want to grab the right remote for it and I'm going to turn it on. Again, remember, TVs, microwaves, air conditioners will only function while plugged in or if you have the generator running. Okay? Now, when the TV comes on, we will want to program. Alright? Now, if you are on cable, you are going to want to, of course, hook up your cable. You're going to push your menu button on the remote to pull up our menu screen. You're going to arrow over to channels. Arrow down to auto channel search. Push enter. Now, am I doing it from cable or am I doing it from antenna? I'm on antenna, so I'm going to lower down and push enter again. Now it is scanning for all the channels on antenna. If I have cable, of course I would have scanned in cable. Alright? Now, the hard part of this is pretty much done. Once the TV is done scanning, it'll go straight to the first channel it found. You don't have to scan anymore while you're in that area. Also, too, all three TVs are independent. You will have to scan each one to get reception on them all. Because, of course, you have a bedroom TV, the main front TV, and the outside TV. Now, I'm going to go back to setting up a little bit. If you are, again, wanting to program in cable, all right, again, you're going to push menu. I need to exit and stop this. Okay. Push menu, arrow over to channel, drop down to auto channel search, enter. Now cable from the wall. Okay, I'm going to enter. Now, when this is scanning, and really before you start your scan process, if I can get you to come up and walk over here, behind the curtain here, behind the curtain is where our coax cable comes into a wall plate. See the coax cable? Right next to that is a little button. This is the TV antenna booster button. This must be off, which means it's popped out for it to receive cable signal. When you don't have cable, the little button is in. If you have cable, little button is out. It is in your book if you forget. It's very important. When you scan with the antenna booster on, it'll have snowy signal. It won't pick up all the stations. Okay? So do remember our little button. Other than that, let me slide this back over. Okay, and when you want to watch a DVD, we're going to grab our remote again. We're going to push import or source, depending on the TV. So we'll push import, we'll arrow down to the AV position, turn on our DVD, slide in the disc, and away she goes. Now, a little tip, all these buttons will not control the DVD player. You actually do have to get up here and walk in to turn it on to play or eject and so on. All right? Other than that, when you go back to TV, it'll be input, arrow back to the TV position, and then push enter. All right? Again, this is in the book and, of course, on YouTube as well. All right? We're pretty much done with the house of the RV. What we're going to talk about now is our driving cab area. I'm going to grab the keys. And, of course, the Ford key is our cab key. This will do the ignition and the 2 front doors. On the key ring are 2 entry door keys. The big, fat black one is the deadbolt. The smaller black one is the handle lock. And then your shiny silver one is all of your outside compartments. Okay? On your chassis, you do have tilt wheel, cruise control, wipers are on the turn signal, headlights are on the left. Your dash air is like any other car. You have a 12-volt outlet here. You have one in the glove box, one up here by the front TV, and of course one in the back bedroom area. And as you can see, you have a phone charger hookup here. On your stereo, I do need to start this to get it to boot up. Of course, it is a CD player, all right? And on the stereo, it does have a rear view camera. Of course, our rear view mirrors don't do much good, but here on the unit, you'll notice it has a menu button. Push menu, and we're looking for camera. I push camera, and there's our rear camera. I drive with this on. This works as my rear view mirror when I'm driving. Of course, you don't have to use it, but I think you'll find it's pretty cool while you got it going on. The kids love watching it while you're going down the road. Other than that, I am pretty much done with the show of the Leprechaun 220 QB.